takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Surveying the field. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away. And now it's 3rd. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did. Okay. Here's a carry for Oliver. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice look.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of a dive. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Paul Richardson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Spinning past him. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals defense getting ready to go again. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help out their offense, whether it's doing it themselves, taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
Yeah, sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
I always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Looking sideline, incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
Back to throw. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. He's going to field this at the 4. And some room to work. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the tack onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
Well partnered in my...
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They come out here in the eye. He'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Their mobile quarterback with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And that score gives them a little more separation and a bigger lead.
A little more of a comfort zone now. They can do more things defensively, maybe take a few more gambles as they try to continue to extend their lead.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense, right?
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Paul Richardson with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There can be plenty more before this game is over.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, if they're out there, we'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passers. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll drop the throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more to get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
They need to get this to the 24 on third down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that. And that really chips away at your confidence.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third down.
Could be a blitzer.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And his kick is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this.
What's right?
A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. On the catch, it's Crowder. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And now they're in the hurry-up. Back to throw now on first down. He's got time in the pocket, and his pass incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And quickly they get to the line. They'll look to throw here on first down. It's caught. Stills, right side. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 2nd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Finding time. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Back to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's got time, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
They'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Got a man It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Brandon Oliver, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up offensive line, though. They've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up.
Never mind, Larry. Forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already. That'll be taken in the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Past the 20, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year, and the Bengals add on to their lead.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of it.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding. Defense.
Got a little handsy there. Defensive holding, Charles.
And defenders will get away with as much as you will allow. The 5-yard mark tells the officials where the line should be drawn.
First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Touchdown, Bengals. And He certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, nice move. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Going up top. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A gain of 32 that time.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
We gotta get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. All right, here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Surveying the field. And avoids the contact by sliding. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll set up a throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. The sack will push him back only a couple yards, but certainly not what they were hoping for on first and goal.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Now from back at the 5, this is third and goal.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Cole Beasley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick thrower. Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Bengals getting set to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And another good game here as the numbers show. We had a rare meeting with the entire offensive line this week. They were pretty ecstatic. Well, they should be ecstatic again.
And we had that meeting with them because of how they played last week. I thought it was your idea. It was brilliant to say, let's bring the big guys in. Well, it was true. Let's talk to the guys. How did they pull that off? Because they were so productive. No real problems in getting to the offensive backfield. They were getting downfield, getting the second, third level, creating extra blocks. We're seeing that again this week. They are really locked in. So credit to them, but also a big credit to the offensive line coach because he's got to feel great about what he's prepared.
Absolutely. On second down, it's Bell. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And on 2nd and 10 now. The gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. They'll look to throw here. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard. But more importantly, it leads to 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Take it at the 37. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And out now, here come the Bengals. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to...
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He hits Beasley right side. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They're going to look to throw. And that's caught by Beasley. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. Again, it's Bell. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And Le'Veon's mother, Lisa, she grew up a huge Steelers fan, so she's got to love this. Her team's winning. Her son's doing the thing for her team. All good, right?
Did she have a plug into the scouting department, into the front office
she would play some calls.
That's a big-time deal for her right there. How happy is she out of big? A lifelong dream of her team with her baby starring on it.
2nd down following the run.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
They'll run it with Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. Doesn't even need to be a...
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. They haven't played the best, but I guess it's not going to matter because their offense has been so good.
And they'll go in and shake their guys' hands and say, thanks a lot, big day. We'll try and tighten it down for the next ball game. But a lot of guys think this is kind of fun to be able to go up and down the field, almost like a basketball game where 2 teams full court press and score a whole lot of points. You may get beat, but sometimes you think, hey, that was a good day.
Well, they can still tighten it up here for one final stop. They can feel good on the way out the door.
They'd love to show the defensive coordinator that they did have one good possession before this day is over.
And he's got him over the middle, Fedorowicz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fresh set of downs here.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
All right, here we go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.